How's it going, guys? Excuse my voice. I'm a little sick, or getting over sickness. But if you've got an '08 to, I think, 12 Toyota RAV4 and your door doesn't latch, like mine, so it just kind of hangs out there, this latch is actually broken. So I'm going to have to get a new one of these, and I'll show you how to replace that. First things first, we got to remove this trim right here. It's kind of nice to have one of these little trim tools. Doesn't have to be a snap-on, but you know, if you like quality tools, I recommend snap-on. So basically, you just want to get behind there and just kind of pry. You know, there's little clips that hold this in, and just go all the way around the trim, this gold trim, because it's separate from this black piece. It does separate, but I like to keep it together, so that way you don't mess it up. I mean, this plastic can get bent and stuff like that, so ignore my baby monitor. She's napping, so checking on her. And that's kind of like a noise canceling machine you're probably hearing in the background. Sorry about that. Same thing on this big black piece. You just kind of got to pull in the corners. Use that trim tool to pry this off. There's one connector for this light right here. It's actually flipped off, probably because it doesn't shut. But that's how I got this car so cheap, was this didn't latch, and the guy was just tired of messing with it and strapping it closed. So pretty simple fix, but some people just don't want to mess with it. So I figured I'd make a video to kind of just show you how simple it is. And I think the latch was like 36 bucks on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description as well. So here was that connector for that light. You just push down this tab and pull out, and that'll separate that from that light. So hopefully yours isn't as dirty as mine, but mine's pretty darn dirty. So with peeling that plastic back, you can kind of see how this works. That's your outside door handle, obviously looking from the inside. And then over here is your latch. And all that's connected, all that's moving, so something is worn out inside the latch. So we're just going to go ahead and pull that latch, and I'll show you how to do that. I think there's like some Torx here. I'll figure out what size and let you know. Okay, so those bolts are a T30 or a Torx 30. You can find those at pretty much any store. Don't have to use a electric wrench, but like I said, makes it a lot easier, or ratchet. But let's go ahead and bust these loose. They shouldn't be very tight, and they're not, so. So once you got it loose, you can just kind of pull it down. There is a connector right here, same thing as that light. Just push that tab and pull toward you, and it'll come undone. So mine just kind of fell out of that little tab, but that rod right there, see it, there you go. That's actually what connects right there. Mine just kind of fell out. And, I mean, you can see right here how it works, is this right here gets pushed down when you open the handle, and that little rod in there is supposed to move. But you can see how corroded and messed up this one is. So it's a 2011, so what is that, 12 years old at the time I'm recording this, and it's lived on a dirt road its entire life. So the owner I bought it from was an original owner, and you can tell that it's seen some abuse. So it was definitely time for another one. There's your electric lock. That's what controls the lock and everything like that. So definitely not too bad. Okay, and obviously to install it, it's just kind of the reverse procedure. Alright, you see we got the thing stabbed back in there, the rod, and out here we just tighten those 3 bolts, just kind of get them snug. They're not very strong, so they will snap and strip out, so just go easy with them. And next, yeah, you guessed it, we got to put this little plastic piece back on there, so it just kind of slides back on there. Don't forget to plug in your light, and it'll just snap back on here. If you have any little pieces like this, sometimes it's better to take them out and put them back into the plastic piece, and that'll help line them up a lot easier. So you just want to kind of look around, make sure you have them all. I'm missing one, so I gotta go back to the door and find out where that one is. Or maybe it was already missing it, I guess. Make sure you put your little water shield back on as well. I'm gonna have to retape mine, as this one's pretty old, seen some years. So that's to keep water and stuff like that out, and dust, which it's obviously not doing a very good job with dust. And it looks like somebody cut a hole in mine, so that's great. But hopefully yours doesn't look like that. But yeah, it's pretty easy just to snap this thing back on here. Basically, you just kind of put it right here so it holds on, and then just kind of hit in each one of those, places where those tabs were. Be careful, make sure they're lined up or you'll bend them and then they won't go back in right. And test to make sure your light's working. Mine is. I got it plugged back in. Of course, after I told you guys not to forget that, I forgot it, so I had to take it back off and put it back on. So just make sure you plug that light in, otherwise, you'll forget about it till you need it one day. Then you go turn it on, it's not working. Then you'll be like, oh crap, forgot to plug that in. And last but not least, we got a little trim piece. Hopefully you kept yours together. Makes it a lot easier for installation. I've seen some other videos back in the day where people were separating those. Just makes your life a lot harder. So don't do that. Again, make sure, this one here is broken, unfortunately, but this right here is still good. But you want to take these off of the metal and put them back in your plastic piece. That'll make your life a lot easier.